Hello everyone. Am I audible? And is my screen visible? Yes, no. I don't see any response yet. Hello guys, am I audible? क्या मेरी आवाज़ आ रही है? Okay, there's no point in wasting time. Let's get started then. For the topics that we are going to discuss today is the Nifty 50 outlook, the how the broader market is looking, its relative strength, breadth, few interesting stocks, and there are some interesting features in the Rising MA dashboard that were launched in the last week. So we are going to discuss that, and at the end, if you are still watching and if you have any questions, then maybe there would be a question and answer session. If not, we'll wrap this session. So we won't be taking too much of the time. There would be some 15-20 minutes, and then we'll wrap this session. So let's start with the Nifty 50 outlook. So right now, we are here. The price is below the moving averages, both the moving averages, which is 10 and 20 in this case. And if you'll see, this is the first time there is a bearish crossover of 10 and 20 EMA from the March lows. So we there was a bullish crossover over here, and after that we had a nice rally of 2500 points, close to that. And now there is some kind of consolidation happening, and things are not as bullish as it was a few weeks back. But if you ask me, again, things are not that bearish. It's pretty common in a strong bull market when you see some kind of sideways price action. So till now, things are not that bearish in particular. Only if there is some kind of break even from these levels, then there might be some cause of concern. So yeah, so this is about the Nifty view. What might happen is that we might see some kind of, we might get into this kind of consolidation. Again, the magnitude of this consolidation may not be the exact replica over here, but yeah, there might be some kind of sideways price action such as these. So this was about Nifty. Let's look at, but the thing is, we don't invest in Nifty 50 stocks, isn't it? We invest mostly into the mid and small cap names. So let's look at our universe, which is Nifty total market in this case. So Nifty total market is the combination of Nifty 500 plus Nifty 250 micro cap universe. So it's a combination of 751 stocks. So the bearishness that we were seeing in the Nifty 50 chart is not exactly translated over here. We are still above, no, we are below the moving averages, but moving average crossover has not yet happened. So things are looking little, better over here. What is looking more better? It is the mid small cap 400 universe. So as you can see, this index is still above the both the moving averages, and it's in a uptrend right now also. So we had shakeout over here, then we had a shakeout here, we had a shakeout here. Price pulled back to the moving average over here, and things are looking pretty solid here. One can say that this is some kind of consolidation. Let me draw it. This is some kind of consolidation. It's perfectly fine, but again, your our benchmark, which is Nifty 50, is not performing, so it's fairly possible to witness some kind of consolidation in the broader market. So things are looking pretty interesting as far as mid small cap universe is concerned. Give me a second. Now let's do one more thing. Let's look at the relative strength chart of Nifty total market versus Nifty 50, just to get an idea of how Nifty total market is performing as compared with the Nifty 50. So this is the ratio chart of Nifty total market versus Nifty 50, as you can see over here. So it's in a strong uptrend, right? Which means that Nifty total market universe is outperforming Nifty 50. So if we were to bet in the market right now, it would make a lot of sense to focus on the Nifty total market. The ratio chart of Nifty mid small cap 400 versus Nifty 50 that you see over here is even more interesting. So this ratio chart was in a consolidation after July 2021, and it was a very long consolidation. This means that neither, there are bouts of outperformance and there are bouts of underperformance. So in this phase, Nifty mid small cap 400 was outperforming Nifty 50, then it started underperforming, then it started outperforming, underperformance, so it was a consolidation, and breakout happened over here during June 2023, and after that we had a one-sided rally only. There was pullback to moving average. There was some kind of consolidation, which was a very important pattern in itself, and the ratio chart is looking very interesting, and if it continues, I think even though Nifty 50 remains sideways or in consolidation, I think a broader market or mid cap and small cap names are the ones where we should be putting our money in. So yeah, this is about the market. So overall, nothing alarming as of now. Let's see how it shapes and pans out in the coming days. So first the topic is done. Let's look at the breadth. This is our Nifty 50 short-term breadth. So we were in the overbought zone ever since the rally started. Then there were phases when we dipped below the overbought zone, and this was during June 23, 24, when the breadth pulled to 52. We again went into the overbought zone, and we are now cooling off. But we are still above the oversold zone. So the short-term breadth has cooled off for Nifty 50. I think it might slide below maybe to the oversold zone, and that we might see a push higher in the on the Nifty 50 chart. But the cause of concern is the medium term breadth, because if you'll notice, the medium term breadth is still in the overbought zone. So this is a cause of concern. But again, it can remain in the overbought zone for practically unlimited time. But generally, market moves in cycles, so we might see some cool off. I'm not sure whether it will cool off to the oversold zone or it might come to the neutral level. I am not too sure about that. Let's see, but we should keep this in the back of our mind that the medium term breadth is overbought for Nifty 50. And lastly, as far as breadth is considered, this is our breadth for the 750 universe. And basically, this plots what percentage of stocks are above the 10 EMA, 20 EMA, 50 EMA, 200 EMA, and what percentage of stocks are there where RSI is more than 50 over here, as you can see. And this shows what percentage of stocks are outperforming Nifty 50. So basically, your short-term breadth is in a downtrend. It's cooling. This is also cooling. Basically, everywhere what we can see is there is some kind of cool off. So I'm not too sure where it may end up to, but considering the strong returns that we had in the recent past, there might be some kind of sideways or consolidation in the coming few weeks or months. So let's see how it goes. So let's talk about the interesting things now. Are you with me till now? I don't see any questions in the comment box, so it feels like I'm talking to myself. So basically, we have a few scanners over here, which is power play setup, pivot pocket. Hi, Praveen ji. Good to see you. I thought I was talking to myself. This is the watch list segment. So basically, our endeavor or our goal is, or rather, the pattern that we trade is our objective is to find a low risk entry opportunity. So what I'm particularly interested in, a very strong move and then some kind of consolidation, and finding the low risk entry opportunities uh, when the price is near the 10 and 20 EMA. So this is where I want to get into the stock. So these scanners that you are seeing over here basically does the same job. This power play setup that you see, let me click and show you the chart. So we had a very strong momentum, then we had some kind of sideways price action, and again we had some kind of sideways price action. So power play setup is a very high risk setup where you can get into it's quite risky, because your success rate would be pretty low in these cases. Your stop loss is very tight, and when a stock is in a very strong momentum, there is a possibility that it may further cool off, resulting in triggering your stop loss. So it's a very risky, but many a times these are the setups that give you multifold returns in terms of risks that you have taken. So we'll talk about that. So what I have done is, in order so that I don't waste your time, what I have done is I have gone through all these stocks, and the ones that I found interesting, I will discuss that. So basically, these are the stocks that I find interesting. I'll quickly take a look at these stocks, and I'll share what is going into my mind, how I'm looking at the chart, and you can also share your views, which ones you like, or what are your observations. So if you want, I can share this link with you, so that you can maybe have a quick look. So I've already created a group over here. Yeah. So let's have a quick look, right? So this is Aarti Industries. If you'll notice, the stock was in a downtrend. We made a bottom here, and then stock started going up. Some kind of consolidation happened over here. The stock again gained momentum. This gap up, you see, this was because of the result, because the result was pretty interesting, and we did not had a follow through move to this particular gap up. The price started consolidating. It is near the 10 and 20 EMA. So price wise, if you ask me, it's looking very interesting. Volume has also dried up, I think. What am I doing here? Give me a second. Let me get rid of this here. Get lost here. Right, yeah. So volumes have also dried up. So the sideways price action that we are seeing over here is on lower volumes. The This is a classic setup that we talk about. So if we get some, some kind of indication that buyers are coming in, maybe this kind of candle or this candle, I would like to initiate position in this stock. My loss would be very tight, considering the market scenario we are in. So it won't be more than 2 or 3%. So this is one stock that I like, you know, very much. The next in the list is Alok Industries. Now, it is a very interesting case. If you see, the chart is looking at the chart, it does not inspire confidence. But the thing is, market moves based on the developments, based on the news that is coming in. This is a subsidiary of Reliance Industries, and recently there was a news that they are infusing 7,000 crore in this company. So that can be a trigger. So I'll be closely watching this on weekly time frame. We have a pullback to moving average. So I'll keep this in watch list. It is not looking that very exciting right now, but I would like to continue, monitoring this stock, because if I get a low risk entry opportunity, and if stars are in my favor, maybe I can make. I'm not sure these kind of returns. That's a wishful thinking, actually. Anyways, so the next is Confidence Petroleum. There's something interesting about this stock. Fundamentally, to I read in news that they are opening new LPG stations, and one thing on the chart that you can see is that there is a contraction in volatility. The swings are getting low. The swings are getting shorter. The one swing that we saw was this was from, okay, this swing. We had another swing, but this swing failed to breach this earlier high. Then we went into some kind of consolidation, and then there was a swing low, but it was again shorter as compared with this particular swing. Then we went higher. The swing low again failed to breach this earlier high. Again, some kind of consolidation happened. So I'm not too sure, but I'm think that if we look on the higher time frame, it would come across maybe VCP kind of formation, or pullback to MA formation. So as you can see, there is a this is what we call triangle formation, isn't it? This is a classic triangle formation, and I would be really interested in getting into this stock. So we have price started going up. We made a lower high. There was a bearish breakout. We again had a bearish breakout. We then had a gap up. So I think if we close above these levels, I think we can expect newer highs. Let's see. So Dilip Bilcon, it's a very interesting setup. It's a classic pullback to the moving average. Road sectors are in focus, given that we are in a pre-election years, and they are sitting on a nice order book. So and plus this rally looks in the early stage. So maybe if things align, then we can see a pretty decent return over here. Last time during 2017-18, when road stocks were in focus, this stock had given a very decent return, and I remember trading during that time. So in particular, I don't like road stocks, if you ask me, because these are cyclical and there are a lot of corporate governance issues. But again, let's not talk about that. Dixon is looking good. Dollar is also looking good. Stock was in a downtrend because of several headwinds, and cotton prices were rising. Last quarter was good. It was not good from a textbook point of view, but it was good considering that it was the best quarter in the last 3 quarters, I guess. In the last 1 year, this was the best quarter. So it is the current chart is not something that you can sit down and take notice, but I would continue monitoring that. And if things are better, this is EIH Hotels. There is something very interesting about this stock. First of all, on a lower time frame, price went up, and there is some kind of consolidation, and it is a breakout with spike in volumes. So I like this chart very much. But on the weekly time frame, if you'll see, and this was the earlier peak. Okay, this was the earlier peak. Let's plot a line over here. Okay, so this consolidation that we are seeing over here was happening at the earlier peak, and this is one of my favorite patterns because when price is consolidating near the ETH levels and breakout happens, strong breakout. I think that that translate, or there is a possibility that that particular stock may generate quite good returns. So I would like to keep this in watch list, and we have a low risk entry opportunity as well. If we keep a stop loss below these levels, I think what it would be 3-4% or so. So this too looks good. Engineers India, again, a very good setup. They have a strong order book. FDC, they are, I think, at the earlier resistance levels. So it would be like a principle of polarity concept. If this price remains above this earlier resistance level, then I would like to explore the entry opportunity. This is India what is the name? Glycol. They reported very strong numbers. The price pattern is very attractive, and I would track it closely because it's in the early stage, and if I'm right, then I can make a decent money in this counter. I would like to wait for some kind of consolidation to happen over here and give a low risk entry opportunity. So that is when I would like to get interested. So let's move on to the next stock. It's midway. JB Chemicals earnings were good, and it's a pullback to the MA. Plus, the pharma sector is also gaining traction. So, if momentum in pharma stocks or pharma sector continues, then I would like to place my bet, or rather have more of the pharma stocks in my portfolio. So, this would remain in my active watch list. KKCL, it's a very tight pattern at the top. We had a ugly looking red candle, but notice there is no follow up to this particular red candle, which means that bulls are very strong and price is above this high of this particular candle, which means this red candle is negated, and the setup is very good. We had a long buying tail over here. If you'll notice on the lower side, we have multiple buying tails, which indicates that there is a decent buying interest, and I think their last quarterly numbers were also good. Rather, there is one new feature which I'm going to talk about. That when I'm talking about the quarterly numbers, you see this is KKCL. In the last quarter they reported a growth of 15% on a YOY basis, and their profit grew by 56%. So I will be talking about this feature. So you don't have to go to check on screener or maybe on some other platform about how their numbers were in the last quarter. In a single click you can find the details over here, and moreover you can find the details of how much institutions are holding, how much FII is holding, or how much domestic investors are holding. So it's a very I think very helpful feature. I will talk about that. KPR Mill, actually this is one stock which looks good on all time frames. On a lower time frame we have a breakout with a spike in volumes. Is it a breakout? I won't consider this as a breakout because only if the stock would have closed near the day's high, it would have looked more promising. But again, that's not exactly a very painful point. Let's look on the weekly time frame. Yeah, see on the weekly time frame, it looks so good, isn't it? It's a what? It is a cup formation. It's a rounding bottom, and looks pretty neat over here on the weekly time frame. On the monthly time frame, it's a classic pullback to the EMA that we talk about day in and day out. The rally started from August 2020. It gave 700% returns. Then it went into a cool off, but this cool off was only it did not dip below the 25-30% mark, and then the price or the stock is again showing interest. So I would rather buy this stock around current levels, keep the stop loss below this low, and maybe see how what the price does. So I would very much like to trade this stock. Linde India, this is a good looking chart, low risk entry opportunity. Mankind, we already discussed in the Telegram group. It's a very nice looking chart. I have positions. This is Mastech. Actually, IT stocks were doing well. Too early to get excited, but things are setting up really nicely, and it's in the early stage. Maybe if IT stocks show some strength, then maybe we can focus on stocks like Mastech. Rainbow, it's range bound and kind of violent moves, but again, oops. Sorry, this is MRPL. It's a very good looking chart. It's a classic pullback to the MA, and actually, I have position in this stock with a stop loss below 82.55. So I would maybe if I get a better entry opportunity, I'll again bump up my position. So this is in my portfolio right now. Rainbow, yeah. This stock is in a strong momentum. But the price action is kind of violent and range bound. I'll continue tracking it. Maybe I will see what I can do. Tanla, it looks good. Price is below the moving averages, but I would not be too worried about that because on the weekly time frame we are pulling back to the moving averages. So if we get if the price closes above these highs, then that would be indication that maybe bulls are again gaining strength. And at that point in time, I would like to get interested in this stock. Tata Communications, it's basically a low risk setup. It's a tight formation, and this would also come across as a Bollinger Band contraction that we talked last week or week before that. So this is something that looks good. How many stocks are left? Okay, only a few. Tata Motors is looking good, and let's see. Uh, but generally, I avoid large cap companies. But this stock was looking good, so I added it in my watch list. Maybe I think there is some more upside left. So let's see how the price plays out. But maybe I won't get. You know, I won't. Maybe I won't invest in this stock. Tejas Network, the stock is above its a previous break. We had a breakout. The price came near the earlier breakout level, which is called as a principle of polarity. It retested its earlier breakout level, and there is a presence of buying tail over here. So that is interesting, but not exactly a textbook kind of formation, but we can keep it in watch list. This is a very good looking chart with even small finance bank. It is looking good, and if momentum were to sustain, I think we would go above these levels. Or if stop loss is it, I would exit because I already have position in the stock. Let's see how this plays out. Usha Martin is looking good, one of the best outperformers, and their numbers were also very good in the last quarter. So they reported a 22% growth in their bottom line on a YY basis, and sales grew by 7%. So that's a good one. Vesuvius, again, a very interesting chart, and I think their numbers were also very good. Yeah, 22% sales growth, 77% profit growth. And at last, we have Vesuvius. It's a kind of violent move. There are several resistances up ahead. I will monitor that. I don't have any position. So this was about the stocks, and what is left now? Features on Rising MA dashboard. We'll quickly have a look at the new features that were added. So one feature that was added is the quarterly sales growth and profit growth on a YOY basis. So I'll show you how this works. This is Jyoti Laboratories. So Jyoti Labs. Let's go to the last quarter, and if you will see, this is your latest sales number, and here what we are considering is where is it? So we are considering the sales growth and the profit growth on a quarterly basis. So this is our last quarter, and when we are and on a and the comparison is done on a YOY basis. Means we are comparing this June 2023 with the earlier June 2022. So we are calculating how much the company reported sales growth on a year-on-year basis. So if you calculate this number, so it would be 687 minus, so it's a 15% growth in sales, and your profit was 96 crores and it was 48 crores, which means it almost doubled. It is 100% growth, so your profit grew by 100%. So this basically tells you that how was their sales growth in the last quarter, and how was their profit growth in the last quarter. So basically it gives you an idea of these stocks that are showing momentum, how are their numbers, or whether there is earnings strength or not. Basically this is what I meant to say, because market is mad about earnings. If there is a company where there is a earnings visibility, your stock market will re-rate that particular stock. You can pick 10 examples, 20 examples over the last 10-20 years, and look at some of the multi-baggers. You'll find that there was earnings visibility, earnings were expanding, and this is the reason why market favored that particular stock. So this is very one interesting feature that you should use. That in a single glance it will show you whether how that stock has done in the last quarter, right? So if you'll notice, Gabriel pretty decent numbers. Krishna reported strong sales numbers, but profit was not as expected. It was rather profit numbers were weak. And a similar thing you can see over here in the watch list segment. Here also there is sales growth and profit growth. So when I'm looking at this particular table, I would like to pick stocks where I'm seeing strong profit growth and sales growth, rather than the ones where numbers are not that bullish. So maybe that would be my first preference. So this is one feature that I wanted to talk about. The other one was the quadrant segment. Let's do something. Let's wrap this session now, because I think it's getting too long. We will talk about this quadrant in the next live session. What do you say? Meanwhile, if you have any questions, you can type your questions, and we'll talk about this quadrant in the next on the next Sunday. Because I don't want our sessions to get extended beyond 20-30 minutes or so, because anyways we are meeting every Sunday, so we can keep something for the next you know next Sundays. Okay, we are going to end this session, right? If you have any queries, you can type your queries, else you can always reach me out on Telegram, or maybe you can email me. So that's it for now. It was nice interacting, and we'll meet next on Sunday at same time at 12 p.m. Thank you and have a good